5 seconds. Start. Honorable members, I would like to acknowledge my deep gratitude and appreciation to Honorable Speaker and the Honorable Chairman Rajya Sabha and Honorable Members of Parliament for organizing this farewell ceremony on the eve of my demitting office as the 13th President of the Republic of India. Friends, if I say I am a creation of this parliament, it shaped my political outlook and persona. Bear with me if I feel nostalgic and indulge myself by going back to the past. On 26th January 1950, the Constitution of India came into effect. In a remarkable display of idealism and courage, we, the people of India, gave to ourselves a sovereign democratic republic to secure to all its citizens justice, liberty, and equality. We undertook to promote amongst all citizens fraternity, the dignity of the individual, and the unity of the nation. These ideals became the lodestars of the modern Indian state. The Indian Constitution, consisting of 395 articles and 12 schedules, is not merely a legal document for administration but the Magna Carta of socio-economic transformation of the country. It represents the hopes and aspirations of the billion plus Indians. 68 years ago, after the first general election, the Indian Parliament began its journey representing the sovereign will of its people. Both the houses were constituted. The first president of the republic was elected, who addressed the first joint session of the parliament, and the Indian parliamentary system rolled out. When I first entered the portals of this hallowed institution 48 years ago, I was only 34 years old. In July 1969, I came to this parliament as a member of Rajya Sabha, representing one of the 6 seats from the state of West Bengal. My election to Rajya Sabha took place on 4th July, and the first session I attended began on July 22nd, 1969. Since then, for 37 years, I served as a member of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Of these, I served 5 terms as a member of the Rajya Sabha, elected for 4 terms from West Bengal and 1 term from Gujarat and 2 terms in the Lok Sabha. My long career has been instructive and educative. I entered Parliament at a time when the Rajya Sabha was full of experienced parliamentarians and leaders of the freedom movement, many of whom were brilliant speakers. My years in Parliament were further enriched by the wisdom of various leaders. My career as a parliamentarian was no doubt mentored by Srimati Indira Gandhi. Her steely determination, clarity of thought, and decisive actions made her a towering personality. She never hesitated to call a spade a spade. I remember after the defeat of Congress in the post emergency election, we had gone to London in November 1978. A large number of media persons in a fairly aggressive mood were waiting to ask Srimati Gandhi questions. The first questions that was flung at her was, what have been your gains from the emergency. Looking at the journalist squarely in the eye, Indira Gandhi replied, "In those 21 months, we comprehensively managed to alienate all sections of Indian people." There was big silence followed by loud laughter. Not one question was asked after that, and the media persons just melted away. And I also learned an early lesson of acknowledging my mistakes and rectifying them. Self correction in such situations is always a better option than self justification. In those days, both the Houses of Parliament used to reverberate with animated discussions and illuminative and exhaustive debates on social and financial legislations. Listening to these stalwarts for hours and days in Parliament, sitting in the Treasury or opposition benches, I felt one with the soul of this living institution. I understood the real value of debate, discussion, and dissent. I realized how disruption hurts the opposition more than the government, as it denies them the opportunity to raise the concerns of the people. I internalized the essence of what Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru had said. He said that there has always to be balancing of change and continuity. The system of parliamentary democracy embodies these principles of change and continuity, and it is up to those who function in the system, members of the House, and the numerous others who are part of this system, to increase the pace of change, to make it as fast as they like, subject to the principle of continuity. If continuity is broken, we become rootless and the system of parliamentary democracy breaks down. I experienced the joy of the enactment of pro poor and pro farmer legislations. The recent passage of Goods and Services Tax and its launch on 1st July is a shining example of cooperative federalism and speaks volumes for the maturity of Indian Parliament.